Duvall with the Eagle Homes team, powered by Caldwell Banker.
I'm Brad Brewer as always, and we have a guest today, Lauryn from Luberry's here in town, which is, well, I'll let you describe. Where are you located? And tell me.
Right across the way from you guys.
Literally so. For those that know, we're at the corner of Milwaukee and Pine Streets. Right across the street, we're staring at Fred's, Buzzed, and of course Lauryn's fabulous store, Luberry's.
Yes.
So, Lauryn, kick it off. Just tell us a little bit about your background, personal, the store.
Yeah.
Kind of leads into this.
Okay, well, first, thank you so much for the invite. It was awesome to be on here this morning. So yeah, I got started, gosh, it's going on like 8 years, it'll be 8 years.
Wow.
But I kind of got started when my kids were really, really little. I have a master's in clinical psychology and couldn't really do that with the kids at the time. So
she's analyzing us right
right.
now.
Yes, she is.
Yep.
We probably need it.
I've always had a love for design and home staging, antiques, home decor. And it really comes from my grandma.
Okay.
And she's been gone, it'll be 4 years in January. So and it's trickled down the line with my mom, and we just love the antiques and home decor. So, you know, I love that. And with my kids being so little, I was like, what can I do? Because I was going insane with 2 kids. Hard.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So I kind of dabbled in some booths. I was like, why not? Like refinishing furniture. I hadn't done it, but I had done a lot of DIY at the time anyway, so kind of thought, why not? And before I knew it, one booth turned into another booth, and I expanded in no time at all, and then that turned into multiple booths. I had been at Great Lakes in Antioch, Illinois, and then some storefronts in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, and then Waterford Unique Antique as well. And I had done flea markets and things like that. I sold off Facebook Marketplace at the time, just anything I could do to kind of just make some money, but still doing what I love.
Right.
And being available to my children.
Okay. So this was originally, sounds like a hobby that kind of turned into really a full-fledged business.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, it was a dream of mine to have a storefront, but by the time we were in Burlington, we had 3 kids. It was like, how do you swing that with 3 kids? But I've always been like open to opportunity. So, and I just, you know, have to believe in timing. Timing is truly everything. Storefronts became available, but I wasn't super sure. And actually, Melissa and I had connected when she was at her old Buzz location.
Got it.
And then Campaign's old spot, which was a time next to John's event. Just kind of took a whim on that. It was way bigger than what I had originally thought. But I was like, now or never. Like, you gotta start somewhere.
Yep.
If this opportunity is now, go for it. And I did, and I never looked back.
That's awesome. And you've obviously filled the store with, you know, all kinds of different things. So
Yes.
how did you come up with the name Luberry's? Where did it come from? Was it, you know, a nickname? Is it, you know, some, maybe, I'm just gonna stab a dart, from your grandma, knowing that she was inspiration? How'd you come up with Luberry's?
So it was a nickname that my mom actually gave me.
Okay.
My dad. Yeah. I was often called Lou, and then it kind of became Blueberry. So it was the perfect name.
Yeah, definitely very fitting.
Right.
You
It
know,
is. I mean,
for-
it gets confused with blueberries like 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
But
So, since we weren't able to do a broadcast from your store today, let's talk a little bit more about your business model, the inventory, things like that. So what type of products do you carry at Luberry's?
So really furniture and seasonal decor and the antiques, that's like the heart
Okay.
of the store.
Okay.
You know, because I am the one that's sourcing it, working it, all the things, I don't refinish as much furniture as I used to, but I still love it. That is definitely a love of doing the store. But I do have over 41 businesses represented in there. Most of them are Midwest and more specifically Wisconsin based,
Oh, that's awesome.
which I love.
Yeah.
Yes. And Burlington really has a heart for the small business, so
Yep.
that's been awesome to see. Just that gets supported that much more.
Right.
We've definitely experienced that as far as Burlington's love for small business. I think all the community, the patrons are super supportive. I know Vince and I are both big fans of I'll spend more money even if
Yeah.
it's a small local business versus national chain, because that's the hard thing. So
Right.
that's awesome that you follow that model, and to support really 41 other entrepreneurs is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
So you mentioned that you restore some of the stuff. How much time do you think you spend today restoring furniture versus what when you first started? Like, is it 10 hours a week? Because obviously you probably want to work in the business instead of on the business at times. So
Right. Yeah, it just depends. I mean, now, I'm not gonna pick up the huge dresser that I was picking up, and I really liked finding the antique pieces still. It's not like I'm refinishing a mid-century modern. I could, it's just not I love the look of the antiques and the furniture.
Yeah.
So now it'll be more like a table or some kind of a unique piece that's smaller like that. Before I used to actually repair the veneer on antique pieces and then refinish it, whether I was staining or painting. It's I don't have that kind of way. I also carry the Fusion line of paint and stains, and I love that because the top coat's already mixed in. It's a great product anyways, but having 3 kids, I tell everyone this is why I got into that, because the top coat was already mixed in.
Yeah.
So
Do you do the refinishing of the furniture piece? You still do at your store, or do you do offsite?
sometimes, if it's small and I don't have my almost 4-year-old with me, but we have a 3.5 car garage, so that's my husband is fine with that being my domain.
Do you get the whole garage?
No, I get
Okay.
I get the bigger part. There's the smaller part for the yard stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
We've never parked cars in our garage, I don't think, ever since we've owned homes, and we're on our 2nd house now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
yeah.
To give all that space. So, classes. So you teach in any way different things, or what? About that?
Yeah. So I mean, with the Fusion line, the idea was to have paint classes from time to time. Of course, I would love to be doing that 1-2 times a month. It's just not always hard to 3 kids, and
Right.
one in dance and one in baseball, and you're chasing the other one. So, yeah, I mean, I hope to do more of that. It's just, heading into fall and Christmas, that's the big seasonal time. So it definitely doesn't happen then. Summer, spring, hit or miss.
Time just gets away.
It really does. So
A question we probably should have done a little bit earlier in this. So with the busy schedule, because you do classes, the kids, everything like that, do you have set hours, or do they fluctuate, or can you do appointments? Kind of tell us about your hours.
sure. So right now I'm open Wednesday through Saturday. And right now for the summer, I'm trying some different later days, specifically Thursdays and Fridays. So Wednesday is 11 to 4, Thursday, Friday is 11 to 5, and then Saturday it's 10 to 3 right now.
Okay.
So those fluctuate a little bit more come fall and winter, but yeah, a lot of the businesses are closed Monday, Tuesdays, so I kind of just adhere to that, and then it also gives me the flexibility. So
Cool.
Yeah, and I know we have Experience Burlington coming up. Are your hours going to be extended during that time?
yes, they are. I'm actually planning a tent and furniture sale, and it's probably the biggest sale I've done ever.
Okay.
So that'd be fun.
And when you say the biggest, I mean, what are you thinking? How many pieces, or
I'm thinking-
explain what you mean by biggest sale?
Yeah,
I
so
guess.
I'm thinking a tent sale on Saturday the 19th, and I'm just gonna have bins where I'm it could literally be maybe this is a bin of stuff, and then a $5 bin, and $10, and $15. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
Okay, kind of your ability to clean house a little bit,
Yeah.
and kind of encourage people to kind of see what you have and
Exactly.
for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
So that's
Kind of your version of the fill the bag sales.
It really is. Yeah. Yep.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
So go back to your furniture route. So it seems like a pretty big passion, even though you don't
It
have
is.
the time anymore. Can you walk us through a little bit of the process to restore something like that? Probably don't go too in depth, but an overview
we'll say it's a table or a chair, something simple. Yeah.
Walk us through it.
So my favorite finding of something like that would be probably a barn sale. I've gotten a lot of great pieces off the side of the road.
Okay.
There's plenty of country roads here in Wisconsin. So that's what I've done, and then it's really just assessing it. I usually can see it finished before I start on it. That's
Okay.
kind of my thing. I'm
Yeah.
I literally can see it done, whether I'm painting it, staining it, changing out the hardware, which I've done from time to time too. So it's just usually a light sanding process to remove any shine on the piece if the stain is still there. And then just painting it, and I
And-
usually do 2 coats unless I'm really de-stressing it.
Is this all done by hand too, or do you use, machine tools or cordless?
Both, I have a lot of fun sanders in my,
Yeah,
I have a legit toolbox,
okay.
actually bigger than my.
Doesn't surprise me.
So, yeah, I have a lot of power tools, I have fun with that.
Okay,
I love cutting up stuff, I've made like benches out of headboards and things like that, so.
When you said, I mean, you see that vision.
Yeah.
So our only equivalent to that in real estate was, we can, people like us can go into a home that's in a rough shape and kind of see that after product before the design's done or pictures are done. Do you ever draw out like what you think you want it to look like, or you just keep it right in your head and say, this is my vision, I can see it, I just do it?
It's just in my head.
That's pretty good.
so, how long does it take for you to find a piece, start on it, finish it before it hits the storefront?
I mean,
Assuming it even hits the storefront.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
yeah, there's times I definitely keep a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's great because with what I do, I can change out stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, if I really love that, I'm gonna hold on to it now, but, it might be in the store within 6 months to a year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean,
So now that I know that you're one of the people that takes stuff off my curb location, awesome, love that. I love that when people do that. Keeps the garbage guys busy with other things, but anyway, what if I found a piece that I'm like, I think this would be really cool, but I have no skill at this, wouldn't even want to do it. I think I have one sander, that's it. So would you take a piece that someone brings you and let them pay you to refinish that piece for them?
yes, I've done a lot of custom work. I've done people's homes, either way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Like china cabinets, like huge pieces.
So those types of pieces are big, you're not gonna move around, you just actually spend time at.
Going there.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
Huh, she's literally a mobile furniture refinisher.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So, Luberry's, it's been growing for the last 7 years. What do you think's been your biggest challenge?
I would say just like balancing everything. Like, I am the one that's sourcing. Like, this isn't a clothing store where I'm, ordering stuff wholesale kind of thing. Like, yeah, I do have items I am getting wholesale, but I am sourcing like antiques, the vintage items, the antique furniture items. And I would love to just, like take weeks or weekends and drive, out of state even and just grab that stuff for art sales or wherever. But I'm limited. Like,
Right.
I still am a mom of life, like first and foremost. So, that has been like the trick, and balancing like the social media. I mean, you guys know you got to be on all the platforms,
Oh, yeah.
doing all the things. So, yeah, it's a job.
Now, do you have somebody do you have employees? Do you have staff, or is it just you?
So, here and there, I definitely have people that work. I mean, right now with it being summer, I have someone like staffing it so that I'm really just there Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay, yeah.
I do like having a pulse on the stores, I like to say. So even if I come in for an hour before someone works or it is the 1 to 2 days, then that's great. I can get stuff, barcoded in the system, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we know as, running any type of business, it's hard to be hands off, right? And, it's also hard to give up that control to somebody else. So, like you said, it's nice to have a little bit of control and still be able to, be that mom, the wife, and the family things that we know is valuable. So
Well,
that's awesome.
another challenge that I'd love to hear your pains, how you went through it is, there's one thing that's, because you were very mobile before, you said, you did the different markets and shows and stuff like that. Once you decided to go brick and mortar, there's a whole other level of challenges that, what was your learning curve like that with that process?
So, I mean, I feel like you're starting all over again. Like, I knew I was successful with what I was doing because I had seen the growth, like, just from, like, profit and expansion. So then I just knew, like, all right, like, you're starting all over brick and mortar and riding into that 3 to 5 year that they say to be successful. So it's just kind of like, still going, I'm trying different things. Like, before I was a booth, that's pretty easy to be like, this is like, I mean, people knew me for the furniture. Like, I had the seasonal stuff, I had small decor. That's all I had to do. But here, I mean, like, we are in a great place for retail, but antiques is like still a niche thing. So it's kind of been like, how do you bridge the gap with the other stores that are around? I never wanted to copy what other people have, and the business community, like, we're all really good about supporting that and not like stepping on each other's toes with products.
Yeah.
So it's just truly been like finding, like, what do people want? They want her, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think we've got a mix downtown that you
Yeah.
just said. I can't think of, your store's not, I mean, there may be some similarities with other stores,
Sure.
but just not, it's not 100%, or it's not even, I don't think it's 50%. Every store downtown, I can feel a little bit of difference here and there, like,
yeah,
from, you've got that focus on antiques, furniture, and those different things. We've got other stores that, it's jewelry focused or whatever, so
right.
clothing focused,
Yes. I think we all carry candles, but who doesn't?
Now, do you make your own candles or do you bring them in?
I don't. I have, which I love that. So that is actually from a family-based company in Illinois.
Okay.
And they're just over the border.
Okay.
So, and I love them. People recognize them from all over. During COVID, I couldn't even get them.
Oh, wow.
And everyone was like, oh, you'll just have to switch. And I'm like, there's 1,000,001 candle brands out there, right? Like, everyone has their favorite, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, they're that good. So, and I used them before I even got the store.
Okay.
So,
And how did you find them? Did you find them at one of
my
the?
parents actually.
Okay.
Yeah. They
Okay.
had always used them from going to other like boutiques and things.
That's what- yeah.
So,
So
Yeah.
they found them through small little,
Yeah.
either booths or, family
Yeah.
run stores and so forth. What, we obviously, you said 3 to 5 years is kind of like that comfort level to where you start really getting into the brick and mortar. What's the next steps? I mean, I know you're probably looking ahead, like,
Always.
where am I going from here? Like, what are you, a year in over there or how long?
It'll be 3 years
Or 3 years?
in
Okay.
November, just so
Wow,
Cali
time flies.
because I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is that next step? Are we looking at like expansion, new product lines? You said you want to do workshops, but the two, I have 3 little ones and I know what 2 little ones,
Yeah.
that's tough, right? Like,
Right.
it's tough to add more to our plate. So what's that look like for you?
So I still love doing like classes and the events. It's just, finding that balance. I definitely want to get into more of like home staging. Like I have done a little bit of that and like now I have the kids, now I have the store and getting that off the ground. Like I feel like I've just been running 110, which is great. Like I love it, but I'm always like, what's the next thing? So home staging for sure. Custom furniture, it's always out there. That's not my like big step.
Yeah.
But definitely like home staging, like decorating services like around Christmas. Like I would totally do trees and that sort of thing for sure. And then I am actually in the process of writing a book.
Oh,
So
okay.
that has been like on my bucket list.
Okay.
And I finally am like doing that.
So,
Especially because my grandma, like with her being gone, that's like a really big part of it.
Yeah.
So
you say you're in the process of writing a book.
Yeah.
Are we, 3 months out? Is it started? Is it almost done? Has it hit the publisher yet? Like, where are we at? Okay.
but I have big plans with it. It's
Okay.
not gonna be like some little like, here's my little pamphlet on the book,
Right.
So it's gonna speak to home decorating and a lot of the like how-tos that people have questions with,
Okay.
kind of bridging that home gap in their home.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you definitely might have just got a client, because I know nothing about home decorating, and I hate decorating for various holidays. Got one client. I would hire that stuff on the side, because I have no clue what I'm doing. If it's up to me, a tree barely goes up, because it's like around Christmas, 'cause I don't have the eye for it, I don't know what looks good, so I think there's
I
probably.
like my house. There's 4 trees off and I'm like,
love it.
There's a.
I had trees just at the store this
Okay.
past Christmas. That's been the most I've had in the store, but I love it.
and that takes a lot of space for you too.
It does. I mean, those are 2 9-foot trees that go in the window there.
Yeah.
So, and I have 2 other 9-foot trees.
Okay.
So,
And I know there's stages in this area too, by the way, but I think that's an area, from the real estate side, we talk to our sellers all the time about, the way you had your home necessarily might not be the best to make it shine for the next buyer, so
Yeah.
staging's a critical important piece we do talk about a lot,
Yeah.
so. But we can overwhelm all the stages in the area, so I think that'd be really.
I love that. Like so when we sold our home before coming to Burlington, it was a Cream City brick home built in 1867. Like just loved the charm. It just shouldn't have been where it was located interstate.
Fair enough.
And my
Say no more.
yeah, my husband didn't believe me. Like, I was like, I feel like this is the time, like, just put up for sale. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, no, we gotta do it. And I was like, I knew about home staging stuff and the importance of making it look like where someone can visualize themselves in the home.
Right.
So I'm like, storage unit, let's go, all the things. I staged it and we got an offer in 3 days. So
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you start to approach that a little more, we'd love to talk more with you about that because I think there's opportunity, not just on your own, but utilizing our team to help you build your business and so
yeah,
forth. So I think
for
there's
sure.
opportunities both ways there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're gonna throw some questions out about your favorites and let's see how you do.
Yeah.
There's actually no grade here, but we'll grade you
Sure.
in our minds.
Okay.
All right. What's your personal go-to treasure and your favorite find ever?
So I would say an antique dresser that has never made it to being out there on the floor. It's actually in my daughter's room currently. And it was a family heirloom. Like someone was just selling it on Marketplace.
Wow.
And I was just like, how can you get rid of this? It's gone through like 5 generations. Like nobody in your family wants it. And it was beautiful. It was the whole like stained dresser with like the mirror, like the full works.
Yeah.
So I refinished it and it was like a labor of love. And that was like the first big piece I did. And I was like, so it was in our living room at our old house. It was a dresser like in our guest room at the new house, and then it was like a dresser and a changing area for when we had our third, and now it's my daughter.
Is it heavy?
It is. I mean, it's those pieces are
you know,
and the mirrors are.
I can understand the family that finally gave it up. My my great grandfather had a one of those roll top desks.
Yeah.
I thought it was the coolest thing. I love it.
Yeah.
My dad kept it for years, and finally he's like, "I'm not moving it anymore." I'm like, I really wanted to, and I'm like, I know how often I move. I mean, I don't think I can keep a house for 1 or 2 years without selling it. So I'm like, we gave it away. Basically, put it out on Facebook and said, "Come get it." We're not helping you move it because it's heavy as ever, but it was just. So I get where they're coming from, but yeah, those are actually very tough. I'm sure they had issues with it, but at some point you just certain.
It's an item, right?
Yeah, it's an item, but I still wish that it was around. I wish somebody would have said, "Yeah, I'll take it and do something with it." But oh well.
So as you're working on items, what's your favorite paint color to use? Or staining or finishing?
I don't think I have a favorite.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I have a hard time deciding for sure because the colors there's over 67 colors
Okay.
in the Fusion line, and their stains. I mean, they keep coming out with more and more. I mean, all of it's great. Like the colors they have, they kind of have more like what I call primitive colors. But there's like I don't even know like so many shades of just your white and your blues, and each one is totally different, even if they look a little close. Like take to the natural light, and it's gonna look different on the wood, that it's going on, and the piece too.
So do you experiment with like a small piece on there and be like, okay, what's this look like and versus this one? You just got an eye for it. You're like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people like if they have a hard time deciding, Google image what it the color is because you can see the different lighting, different woods used.
Oh.
So if I am ever stuck, I will do that. But
Okay.
I do know the color palette I'm gonna use. So.
Yeah. And you do it long enough that often enough you have an eye for it, and that's
Yeah, and I'm like at the end of the day it's paint. Like paint does not scare me on walls, on furniture, you can just redo it. I mean, yeah, that would suck. But I'm
Right.
like I love paint my life. I'm like another dream job, I would have been a contractor because I could drywall and paint and demo
Again,
all day long.
things I can't stand. Cannot stand painting. It's like, I have to talk myself into it every time I'm gonna do something painting myself.
I've already like refinished like the bedrooms like multiple times. So we've only been in Burlington 7 years and I've redone rooms several times.
oh my
I
goodness.
just love that.
Oh really? Probably because he doesn't have to.
Yeah,
Or does he help?
just like write another project.
Yeah.
Right, this might be a dangerous question for you, but is there, because I don't know that you'll say anything, is there a dream piece that you can see in your head that you'd love to restore someday that you've already seen? It's like, man, I'd love to essentially get my hands on that or get my power tools on that.
Right. I don't know about power tools on this one, but those huge like vintage armors,
Oh yeah, okay.
those are really neat. So to redo one of those would be really
And you haven't yet.
I haven't. They're so hard to find, and if they are, you want a lot of money for them.
Okay.
So, which understandably, so you don't come across them often.
Right.
And then it would be like, do you actually like paint it or restain it or
Yeah.
because if there's good wood, if you really touch it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So tough.
We're gonna give you the last word here, but, so for those who know, of course, we're live on Facebook right now. We'll have this out on YouTube later this week. We will get this over to Lauryn so she can share it as well. And if you got any questions for her about her business, future expansion, please make sure to reach out to her. What's the best way to call the store, message you? What's the best way?
Okay. And what's the Facebook handle? Is it just Luberries or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Any other questions for you?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think
Alright.
I aced the question.
I think you did.
Yes, great start, great start. So,
Yeah, she's like, by the way, ace that. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm Vince Vaughn, Eagle Homes.
I'm Brad Brewer. Thanks, Lauryn, again for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
Lauren.
Thank you.
Have a great week, everybody. And just a little sneak peek for next week. We will have another guest. We're guests all of July, so look forward to it. Thank you.